She ran to the store to buy milk. She ran to the store to buy milk. He kicked the ball across the field. He kicked the ball across the field. They climbed the mountain to reach the summit. They climbed the mountain to reach the summit. I read a book by the window. I read a book by the window. She danced gracefully across the stage. She danced gracefully across the stage. He swam in the ocean for hours. He swam in the ocean for hours. They laughed at the comedian's joke. They laughed at the comedian's joke. I wrote a letter to my friend. I wrote a letter to my friend. She cooked dinner for her family. She cooked dinner for her family. He cleaned the house before the guests arrived. He cleaned the house before the guests arrived. The dog chased after the ball. The dog chased after the ball. She jumped over the puddle. She jumped over the puddle. They played chess for hours. They played chess for hours. He sang loudly during the concert. He sang loudly during the concert. She painted a beautiful landscape. She painted a beautiful landscape. The teacher explained the lesson to the class. The teacher explained the lesson to the class. He fixed the broken bicycle. He fixed the broken bicycle. She drew a picture of a flower. She drew a picture of a flower. They watched a movie together. They watched a movie together. I played the guitar at the party. I played the guitar at the party. She opened the gift with excitement. She opened the gift with excitement. He ran a marathon last weekend. He ran a marathon last weekend. The children played in the playground. The children played in the playground. She smiled at the compliment. She smiled at the compliment. He shouted for help when he got lost. He shouted for help when he got lost. They biked down the hill with excitement. They biked down the hill with excitement. He jumped into the pool on a hot day. He jumped into the pool on a hot day. She baked a cake for her birthday. She baked a cake for her birthday. They built a sandcastle at the beach. They built a sandcastle at the beach. I answered the phone quickly. I answered the phone quickly. She watered the plants in the garden. She watered the plants in the garden. He opened the window to let in fresh air. He opened the window to let in fresh air. She threw the ball to her dog. She threw the ball to her dog. They skated on the frozen lake. They skated on the frozen lake. He brushed his teeth before bed. He brushed his teeth before bed. She folded the laundry neatly. She folded the laundry neatly. He hugged his friend tightly. He hugged his friend tightly. They played video games all evening. They played video games all evening. She packed her suitcase for the trip. She packed her suitcase for the trip. He walked to the park in the morning. He walked to the park in the morning. She checked her emails for updates. She checked her emails for updates. They jogged around the track together. They jogged around the track together. He typed the report on his computer. He typed the report on his computer. She shared her lunch with her friend. She shared her lunch with her friend. He fixed the leaky faucet in the kitchen. He fixed the leaky faucet in the kitchen. She ran a quick errand to the post office. She ran a quick errand to the post office. They danced together at the wedding. They danced together at the wedding. He watched the sunset by the beach. He watched the sunset by the beach. She sang her favorite song in the car. She sang her favorite song in the car. He mowed the lawn in the backyard. He mowed the lawn in the backyard. They set up the tent for camping. They set up the tent for camping. She played the piano for the guests. She played the piano for the guests. He caught the ball with one hand. He caught the ball with one hand. She jumped up and down with joy. She jumped up and down with joy. They sang along to the radio. They sang along to the radio. He listened to music while studying. He listened to music while studying. She hugged her parents goodbye. She hugged her parents goodbye. He drove to the mountains for the weekend. He drove to the mountains for the weekend. She made a phone call to her friend. She made a phone call to her friend. They explored the forest on foot. They explored the forest on foot. He painted the fence with a fresh coat of paint. He painted the fence with a fresh coat of paint. She watered the flowers in the garden. She watered the flowers in the garden. They went hiking in the hills. They went hiking in the hills. He played basketball with his friends. He played basketball with his friends. She practiced yoga in the morning. She practiced yoga in the morning. He played a trick on his friend. He played a trick on his friend. She took a photo of the beautiful scenery. She took a photo of the beautiful scenery. He tied his shoes before leaving. He tied his shoes before leaving. They organized the party decorations. They organized the party decorations. She cleaned the windows with a cloth. She cleaned the windows with a cloth. He played the drums in the band. He played the drums in the band. She cooked lunch for her co-workers. She cooked lunch for her co-workers. He watched a documentary on TV. He watched a documentary on TV. They solved the puzzle together. They solved the puzzle together. She vacuumed the floor after the party. She vacuumed the floor after the party. He grabbed a cup of coffee before work. He grabbed a cup of coffee before work. She ran around the track during gym class. She ran around the track during gym class. He cleaned the car after a long road trip. He cleaned the car after a long road trip. They wrote a letter to the local newspaper. They wrote a letter to the local newspaper. She climbed the ladder to reach the roof. She climbed the ladder to reach the roof. He ran to catch the bus. He ran to catch the bus. She played with her dog in the park. She played with her dog in the park. He gave a presentation at the conference. He gave a presentation at the conference. She helped her brother with his homework. She helped her brother with his homework. He cut the vegetables for dinner. He cut the vegetables for dinner. They skied down the snowy slope. They skied down the snowy slope. She gave a speech at the ceremony. She gave a speech at the ceremony. He painted a portrait of his dog. He painted a portrait of his dog. They went fishing by the lake. They went fishing by the lake. She studied for her final exams. She studied for her final exams. He solved the math problem quickly. He solved the math problem quickly. She tied a ribbon around the gift box. She tied a ribbon around the gift box. He cleaned the garage in the morning. He cleaned the garage in the morning. She made a scrapbook of their vacation. She made a scrapbook of their vacation. He lifted the heavy box onto the shelf. He lifted the heavy box onto the shelf. They walked their dog through the neighborhood. They walked their dog through the neighborhood. She caught the train just in time. She caught the train just in time. He played the trumpet in the band. He played the trumpet in the band. She practiced playing the violin every day. She practiced playing the violin every day. He danced at the concert with excitement. He danced at the concert with excitement. They picked apples from the tree. They picked apples from the tree. She walked her baby in the stroller. She walked her baby in the stroller. He pulled the wagon up the hill. He pulled the wagon up the hill. They ate pizza for dinner. They ate pizza for dinner. She washed her hands before eating. She washed her hands before eating. He put on his coat and left for work. He put on his coat and left for work. She climbed the ladder to change the light bulb. She climbed the ladder to change the light bulb. They swam in the pool all afternoon. They swam in the pool all afternoon. He greeted everyone with a handshake. He greeted everyone with a handshake. She decorated the house for the holiday. She decorated the house for the holiday. He carried the heavy suitcase up the stairs. He carried the heavy suitcase up the stairs. They enjoyed a picnic in the park. They enjoyed a picnic in the park. She finished reading the book in one sitting. She finished reading the book in one sitting. He wrote a thank you note to his teacher. He wrote a thank you note to his teacher. She walked to the store to buy groceries. She walked to the store to buy groceries. He organized his books on the shelf. He organized his books on the shelf. They baked cookies together for the party. They baked cookies together for the party. She played the violin at the concert. She played the violin at the concert. He built a treehouse in the backyard. He built a treehouse in the backyard. She ran across the field to catch the frisbee. She ran across the field to catch the frisbee. He served the ball during the tennis match. He served the ball during the tennis match. They studied the map before their trip. They studied the map before their trip. She played the flute in the orchestra. She played the flute in the orchestra. He turned off the lights before bed. He turned off the lights before bed. She grabbed her umbrella before leaving. She grabbed her umbrella before leaving. He fixed the broken chair in the living room. He fixed the broken chair in the living room. They went on a road trip across the country. They went on a road trip across the country. She cleaned the kitchen after cooking dinner. She cleaned the kitchen after cooking dinner. He took out the trash before bed. He took out the trash before bed. She sang a lullaby to her baby. She sang a lullaby to her baby. He wiped the table after dinner. He wiped the table after dinner. She brushed her hair in front of the mirror. She brushed her hair in front of the mirror. He made a smoothie for breakfast. He made a smoothie for breakfast. They built a snowman in the yard. They built a snowman in the yard. She went for a jog in the morning. She went for a jog in the morning. He sent an email to his boss. He sent an email to his boss. She changed the sheets on the bed. She changed the sheets on the bed. He made a reservation at the restaurant. He made a reservation at the restaurant. She greeted her friends at the door. She greeted her friends at the door. He folded the clothes after laundry. He folded the clothes after laundry. They gathered around the campfire. They gathered around the campfire. She tied her shoes before running. She tied her shoes before running. He played soccer with his teammates. He played soccer with his teammates. She cleaned up the spilled milk on the counter. She cleaned up the spilled milk on the counter. He opened the door for her. He opened the door for her. She took a break from work to relax. She took a break from work to relax. They played cards on a rainy day. They played cards on a rainy day. He decorated the cake for the party. He decorated the cake for the party. She taught the children how to swim. She taught the children how to swim. He helped her carry the groceries inside. He helped her carry the groceries inside.